you dress up and you look good and you still don't get picked, that's brutal. So it's like,
come on.
I don't know if that's what I thought about, but like I think that's what deep down maybe some of it was. So it's like, don't try, but like then you don't get hurt. Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Raising Heights with Zach and Tori. I'm Zach.
I'm Tori.
We are glad you're here.
So glad you're here.
I was in my feels last episode.
You were?
About how excited I was about everyone being here.
Yeah. Has that continued to
Yeah,
this
it has.
week?
It has. Every time I'm on social media or I see just new content, there's a lot of people out there making content, so...
Thanks for being here.
Yeah, you have lots of choices. Isn't that what the airlines say when you land? They'll say, we know you have lots of choices, but we're glad you chose us.
I haven't noticed that, but that's...
I feel like flight attendants say
true.
that a lot. So yeah, we're glad you're here.
So glad. I sound awful.
Yeah.
I don't have a good podcast voice this week, I feel like.
No.
I'm going to try not to sniffle and sneeze and do all the things because I've been sick and dying the last...
Yeah, peak and pit. So we usually do peak and pit, and that's basically our pit.
My pit has been, since we talked last, I've been on my deathbed.
Yeah, we literally made our last episode on Tuesday. And then that
Wednesday I woke up and I was actually dying.
Yeah, and then today's Monday. So
it's been miserable. It's been the worst. Everyone, well, okay, get it together, Tori.
Get it together. She's been so emotional.
I really have, though. It's been ridiculous.
Guys, ever since I criticized other women for being, up and down, and
stop.
Tori being anywhere between a 4 and 6, she's gone.
But it's not like crazy.
She's gone crazy.
I watched a video this morning. I texted my girlfriends because I watched this video of a random couple getting married in Walt Disney World. Did I already tell you this?
Yeah.
This random couple got married at Walt Disney World. And I cried. I started bawling and I texted my girlfriends and I was like, I'm actually broken. I don't know what's wrong with me.
You're about to cry right now.
I'm about to cry right now.
Tori, we can't podcast. We literally can't podcast.
No, I think that
I won't be able to take you seriously.
I think that my sinuses are just so messed up. So any hint of hysteria in my voice or anything, my whole system's just cry. Just let it out.
That's weird. Anyway. I'm scared.
So I've been so sick. It's been what I was going to say before we talked about me crying also is I've been told that the flu this season's the worst strain. And I actually can't stand when people say that because I feel like we hear that every single year. Everyone's getting really sick, blah, blah, blah.
No one actually knows.
No one actually knows. And I haven't been sick like this. And
it's been a minute.
It's been a minute. But I have to say, the strand this year is really bad.
Yeah.
Because it's what, we're on day 6 right now? It took
you 4 or 5 days. Yeah, or Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Yeah, wow.
We're on day 6 and I'm still just feeling like crumb. It's been so bad. And yesterday I felt, this is what's frustrating about this sickness, is yesterday I felt pretty good. And I think everyone was kind of like, all right, Mom, go back to bed. Because I was making everyone clean up their rooms and get ready for the week.
Nerd alert.
And, but then today I woke up and my sinuses are so messed up that the whole right side of my face, I couldn't even touch it this morning. It hurt so bad.
Yeah, that's been a huge bummer. That's been a little bit, I feel like the whole week's been kind of blown.
Yeah.
It actually hasn't,
Thank goodness we didn't have anything pressing this week. I missed Jackson's baseball game, which I was pretty upset about.
You watched some of it. You were able to Tori parked in the car and watch from the car. So that's your pit. Pit.
I have to say that you really stepped in for the family and you got it done. Thank goodness I had you, because I don't know how parents that have 2 working parents would do that.
Yeah.
If dad has a 9 to 5 and mom is sick and can't take care of the kids, what happens? You
turn on the TV.
Yeah, and so that's where, because even for me, which I did that a lot, the kids hung out with me a lot too. Which is why everyone is now sick, because they all hung out with me. But that would be very difficult.
It is
being
difficult
on your own in that situation, because I at least didn't have to get up to make lunches and dinners and stuff.
Yeah, you were able to come out of your slumber and the house was still halfway decent. Not an absolute
okay,
wreck.
but can I get some credit though? Because the few times I did wake up to come out, what did I do?
You started cleaning.
I started cleaning like the kitchen.
But I can't take you seriously then. You're like, oh, I'm so sick. If I was that sick, I would not come out of the room and start cleaning.
I know.
And so then when you come out of the room and start cleaning, I'm like, is she faking? Is she being dramatic? Why? Because otherwise you would not be cleaning if you were truly that sick.
I know that's why moms are far superior, because we just like,
but then it confuses
you could be dying
me.
and you're like, oh, well, gotta wipe down the countertops here.
No, because then I'm like, well, what do we like? What's going on here? Okay. So anyway,
it's been a pit.
Yeah,
it's a pit too. Like 30 minutes before we started this episode, got the call that Jackson was sick.
Yeah.
So Sai got sick. His only lasted for like 12 hours though. He had a fever.
Well, that's what we thought yours was going to be, like a 24-hour thing, and ended up being 4 days. And then Sai's was a 24-hour thing.
Yeah, his like less than a 24-hour thing. Yeah, super quick.
So hopefully Jackson's is that too.
But Jackson, I pick him up from school today, and Jackson's not an emotional guy. Like he's very even keel with his emotions.
Or when he is, Tori and me are both like red alert.
So that's what happened today is that I picked him up and he was emotional and he was like, Mom, you could just hear it like quivering in his voice. And he was like, Mom, what took you so long? We're literally 5 minutes away from the school.
Yeah.
And I was in the car before I even like hung up with the nurse, and he was that emotional about it. I was like, dude, this kid's not feeling good when he does that.
That's a bummer. And we have spring break coming up. But
I know. We're trying to get to Sun River this weekend, and we're going with some friends, and their child's also not feeling great. And so we're all just kind of like, get it out of your system. Like,
I know, but that's the thing. Yeah, get it all out of our system now, and then we can go right into spring break, float right into birthday month, and we're home free.
Home free.
So, peak? Do you have a peak? That was a long
peak was you, like taking care of the family. That was like
peak was me.
Yeah, that was I was really grateful to have you there to help take care of everyone and refill my water and bring me muffins.
I thought I did a pretty good job checking in with you.
You did fantastic. You have a way of making me feel guilty.
I don't understand.
I don't understand.
I come in and say, "Do you need water?" Okay, and it's a yes or no. Like,
but he's like taking care of everyone, and I'm in there watching like Keeping Up with the Kardashians, and I just automatically feel guilty because I'm like, "Gosh, you're doing all the work, and I'm just in here watching trash."
This is one of those
TV.
things. I come in, if I don't check on her, I'm a failure, and if I do check on her, I'm making her feel guilty.
No, you can't win. You can't win. Yeah.
You want me to have this emotional journey with you as I come in and check in, but I can't because I'm taking care of 3 kids. I don't have time to take you on a empathetic, I don't even know how to ask.
Like moms just feel guilty when we're useless. Like when we just have.
You're not useless.
Also, that second night that I was sick, I made everyone dinner.
I know, that was pretty awesome.
Because I was like, I'm so hungry. I haven't eaten in 48 hours and I don't want fast food. So I got myself out of bed, which probably bad choice. Went to the grocery store because I'm like, I gotta make dinner. I don't want to have Panda Express for dinner again, and so I made everyone dinner. But I feel like that's just being a mom, unfortunately, that like comes with it, is you feel this guilt of, your family's still moving, but I'm sitting here bed rotting for 4 days. Like, it's just.
I just feel like dads have more, or maybe not dads, I don't know, some moms, I don't know, but like I should just say I have more of a feeling when I'm sick, like I need to get better, whatever. So it's almost like a selfishness for the self of the family. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't make any sense.
No, but
I'm
makes sense.
Selfish in the sense of like I'm going to do what I need to do because otherwise
I'm bed rotting and just sitting here.
So I need to get better to be better.
Yeah. Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Moms are more like, the guilt and all that stuff. And then it's like, no, so don't get up and clean the house and make dinner. Get better.
That's prolonging your.
Yeah. And then, so that's my thought. So when I'm sick, I go down for the count.
Yeah.
I take my Dayquil and then I come back at it.
Okay, that's the other thing though. I have this thing with medication and I I don't know what it is. I just don't like taking medication. Like,
I'm not a big medicine
Zach
guy
and
either. Don't get me wrong here, but
yeah.
I'll do, if I feel the little sniff coming on, I will down some Dayquil
Yeah.
and get ahead of the game.
I had the worst headache on day one of this illness, though. It was the worst headache I've ever experienced. And so I had taken ibuprofen because that's literally all I ever take. And that's very rare when I take ibuprofen.
Yeah.
I took an ibuprofen, and then you were like, you need to take an Excedrin. And because I don't take medication, I was like, okay, fine. I took this Excedrin. I thought I was having a heart attack for like 24 hours. I was like, how much caffeine? Because I think it's caffeine.
It's caffeine. That's what I was thinking of. Like, you have a headache, you're not drinking coffee.
Yeah.
And there's enough hours had passed since you did the Advil. So it wasn't like it was
but
back
still,
to back.
after I should have Googled it before. And after Googling it, there was like, don't do that. Don't take those two together.
You did not take them together.
I didn't take them together. But
You took them together.
No, I didn't take them together.
That's what I'm saying.
But I guess that's my thing with medication is I'm not knowledgeable enough about medication that I don't like messing with it. Like even Dayquil, I took NyQuil eventually because I was like, I gotta sleep through the night. But even NyQuil, you wake up and you just feel like you have a cloud over your head.
NyQuil's
and you're
tough.
like,
Dayquil, though, is awesome. Dayquil.
but I don't take medication. Like that's just Zach and I don't we just don't. We don't.
No, we're not huge drug people. But I'm just saying, sometimes with you, though, you wait till after you get sick, and then you're trying to play catch up. You've done this with pain
all three of our pregnancies.
Your pain, you'll let yourself go to a 10, and then doctors tell you you've collapsed in the hospital room.
In all three pregnancies, the worst was with Josiah, maybe Jackson. I don't know. But they give you oxycodone after you have a cesarean because that's like major abdominal surgery. Like you need pain medication. And I tried to not take the medication with all three of our kids, and it ended up being terrible. Like 10 out of 10.
When I had my shunt thing and everything, like even with Jackson's leg surgery, it's like, no, we got to keep him on his medicine because if he goes below, it's way hard to come out of that, you know. And then that's when you come addicted because you're overcompensating, and you know.
I don't know why I don't have an addictive personality. So I don't know why that scares me so much, but it does. Like just medications.
Well, like oxycodone and like what's the other big one?
I don't know.
Morphine.
Oh yeah.
I want to say meth. No, morphine. Morphine. It is scary though because it does give you just you could be on cloud 9.
Well, okay, and that was the other thing is after giving birth to Jackson, we just talked about this at the baby shower that I threw. That was another thing that scared me so bad with oxycodone because when I took it after having Jackson and everyone came to our room afterwards, I thought I was like totally fine.
Yeah.
And then I watch back videos. I'm high as a kite, talking so slow. And you don't even realize it. You don't realize like what's happening in the moment. It just scares the crap out of me. I like
it's okay if you
don't
take medicine, but then you got to like say, I'm not going to take medicine. But in my mind, if you change your mind because it gets too painful. And honestly, I feel like that's maybe where addiction comes in because you were feeling painful.
So bad.
And then you're feeling great. And it's like, I want to. You know what I'm saying? Like
how do we get on this topic though?
I don't know. We're 13 minutes into your peak and pit. I'm going to do mine real quick and then we can get going.
This portion of Raising Heights is brought to you by Cozy Earth.
Cozy Earth is our go-to bed sheet.
Bed sheets, bath towels, pajamas, all the things. Cozy Earth makes our 5 to 9 just so luxurious and comfy and cozy.
5 to 9?
5 to 9. 9 to 5, 5 to 9, get it? We have the bamboo sheet set.
Different colors.
Different colors. We have a couple different colors. I have had many different sheets that were made of bamboo, and none of them have been as good as Cozy Earth. I love it because we wash our sheets pretty regularly, which I hope everybody does, but I think we do it more than regularly.
Yeah.
And ours have never pilled, and we've never had it. They only get softer, and they only get cozier. Like, they're the best sheets ever. We also have their waffle towels, and I have a couple pairs of their pajamas because they're my fave. We love Cozy Earth because their sheets are temperature regulated. I tend to sleep pretty hot. You tend to sleep pretty hot.
Yeah.
So the sheets keep you nice and cool. So Cozy Earth has a 100-night sleep guarantee. So you could take 100 nights to figure out if you like these sheets or not. Trust me, you only need one night. That's all you need.
8 hours.
8 hours. So they have a 100-day sleep guarantee plus a 10-year warranty. Like, what sheets have 10-year warranty?
That's pretty interesting.
Isn't that great? We've had our sheets for 2 years now. Luxury should not be out of reach. You guys can visit Cozy Earth and use our code HEIGHTS to get 40% off your next Cozy Earth purchase. That's cozyearth.com and use our code HEIGHTS to get 40% off. Go check them out. Stay cozy.
My peak, Jackson's baseball, per usual, planting those trees.
Okay, yeah, the trees.
Planting the trees along the property line, even though they were super expensive. Trees are super expensive.
You downplayed how much those would cost.
That was ridiculous.
He told me like it was going to cost like $500 for those trees.
And just because then you just start a la carting. Okay.
Oh my Atlanta. Anyway. That was one of those things with spending. I do not like Zach thinks I'm a big spender. He thinks I spend a ton of money. I do not. And like the time you're not a big spender either, but the times that you do spend money, it's like not $50 here and there. It's like all of a sudden it's $1,200 later and we're knee deep in a project.
Trees, though, you plant them now for 20 years later.
I hope they don't die, though, because we've had a lot of trees die on this property.
No, everything that someone else has planted has not died. Everything I've planted has died. Okay? Not everything, but...
But didn't you plant another tree when I was sick?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that one's blooming, so that one, I think it's going to...
It's alive still.
It's going to survive, so... Anyway, Jackson's baseball was a joy. Mm-hmm. He does great. His team's awesome. Yeah. We were stressed about the coaching situation. I don't know if we talked about it on the podcast.
We did not.
Okay,
and
we were stressed. You know, I think you said it though, like, hey, you wish I was the coach, or maybe it was just our conversation. But anyway, he ended up getting a great coach.
You stress about a coach when your kid is so in love with a sport. You just want the coach to like, grow that love.
Yeah. So Jackson's on a new baseball team this year. We're 2 games in, 4 or 5 practices. Great group of guys, great group of kids.
Yeah.
So baseball was a peak for me.
Both grandpas came to the games, which was really cool.
Yeah, your dad came to one of the games. My dad came to another game.
I think that like really makes Jackson feel special.
Oh yeah. And Jackson just loves baseball too. He's cool as a cucumber.
Yeah.
Then Pitt. Yeah, probably you being sick was probably the Pitt.
It was Pitt.
I
have another Pitt.
What's that?
That happened right before I wrote it down too. Do you know what I'm going to say?
No.
I wonder if any other...
Oh, I got a free bookshelf too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but continue.
I don't know if any other wives out there have this happen with their husbands.
Yeah.
But I'm like visibly working this morning trying to get our kids ready. And I like had to say, Zach, go get ready 4 times. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. What about it? Yeah.
And he's playing chess on his phone.
You were listening. The kids were eating lunch. You were listening to the episode.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Drives me nuts.
You were listening and I was playing chess, like listening to what you were listening to. So like we were all doing our own thing.
The most obnoxious
and then the kids
thing ever.
decided to like they were done. And so I ended up losing.
Oh, darn it.
I did a queen blunder, because I was distracted.
Because this app, you can't walk away from the game because then you lose. And so Zach,
Yeah, chess.com or whatever, then you lose your rating if you lose. So you can't just like leave the game.
I just wanted to take his phone this morning and chuck it across. There are some times, babe, you can't just like start a chess game.
Yeah.
Okay, like you can't full on start a chess game when your whole family is like looking at you. All
right, if you guys are joining us, we're doing a LPBL, Little People Big World review. Last episode, we did episode 1.
Did you guys do your homework?
Oh, yeah.
We gave you homework. Your homework was to watch episode 2 before you watch or listen to this podcast.
Yeah. So episode 2, we're going to do an episode 2 review. Tori listened to it. I listened to parts of it.
Zachary,
distracted by my chess.
Context, can't watch himself on Little People Big World.
I just can't watch Little Big World. So.
But then there's some parts where I'm like, babe, you have to watch this.
Yeah, I know. Tori's
funny.
Tori's like laughing. She's watching it on her phone horizontal and then starts laughing and then flips her phone to vertical to take the note and then goes back to horizontal. I'm like...
This is some good content, babe. So good.
All right, let's get going.
This week's episode 2, you need to watch episode 2. It's all about you finding.
I'm telling you guys, I started that show. Okay, I know.
I am that show. Okay.
No, guys. I'm saying I was my storylines were huge drama points of that show in the beginning. Am I right?
They were.
After watching episode 1 and 2, and we're not even talking about the pilot or any of that stuff. So. Anyway.
Humble pie.
No,
my
I'm just
friend.
saying, like, it was hot and heavy back then.
So in episode 2, I love how the early seasons, I feel like they were trying to find the vibe of what the show was about and like what maybe storylines interested people, because
Yeah.
the opening of the show is you, your dad, and your brother going to get the yellow beetle out of the field.
Yeah.
And you're like being such a pessimist. You're like, you guys are gonna, this is so dumb. You're just gonna like, you're gonna forget about this and you're not gonna have enough money to finish it and blah, blah, blah. And your brother and your dad are both just like, shut up, Zach. Like, this is great.
Yeah.
But then nothing happens. Like, actually, everything that you said like comes to fruition.
Yeah.
And the last thing that said was like, nothing got accomplished. We just moved the bug from one end of the property to the other.
Yeah.
That was it.
I was pretty pessimistic back then for sure.
So that was like my first thing that I was gonna.
The yellow bug still is around though. The yellow bugs
They fixed it up though. The yellow
in
bug,
that episode.
No.
Yeah, we ended up fixing it up
In, like, a later episode.
multiple seasons later.
Yeah.
You know.
But it was funny because it's such a standalone scene, and there were multiple scenes on this episode that were just standalone scenes that they were like. I feel like they were just putting it out there to see what people thought about it.
I don't remember because I was too young, but I feel like at the time it was like, are we going after the dwarfism side? Are we going after the farm side? Are we going after like the mom and dad and what they've created, the Cowboy Town Pirate Ship Tree Fort side? Or are we going after the twin thing, the medical side?
Mm-hmm.
You know, what are we going after?
What are we doing here?
And that was the thing that I thought like the show was so attractive, or our family was like, you can go a couple different directions here. It wasn't just how many kids you have, or just, you know, not just, I'm not bashing anything else, okay? But like how many kids you have is clearly the most interesting thing, or your religion is the most interesting thing, or where you live, you know what I'm saying? There was a couple things about us that they could have gone.
Right. It wasn't just dwarfism.
Yeah. That was not bashing any other show.
No, but like, but all these other shows are niche shows
Yeah.
that people are kind of like, oh, you have 20 brothers and sisters. How is that?
Yeah, it wasn't super clear, I felt like, with us on what would be the most interesting thing.
Right.
So,
Which I do think that dwarfism aspect is still the most interesting thing, but then you added on, oh, you live on a 20-acre farm, and oh, you're a twin, and oh, you have 3 average height kids.
Well,
like,
how quick are people going to be like, okay, they have dwarfism, great, but like, there's like a cowboy town in his backyard. Like, let's, okay, we've been educated. Now let's get to that. Okay. Like, they didn't know. How quick were they going to move on? Okay?
Right. Yeah, 100%.
All right.
But I thought that was kind of interesting because I do think like your dad, especially like his, I don't know, I look at our relationship sometimes and I think I'm like the dreamer, the
100%
go-getter, the like whatever. Like
I've always said this.
I really feel in my head sometimes I'm like, I can do anything. Like if I could stand there and do a backflip right now if I really put my mind to it, where it's like, no, you actually like, you can't.
Yeah.
And you've always kind of been that, like, you're more your mom.
Yeah.
Where it's a little bit more like, you know, okay, well, how are we going to get this done? And where,
100%. Like, me and my mom were super similar back then. We're the ones that got along. My dad and my brother were there. And, I've always said this, you get all offended, but I'm like, are like my dad and my mom. Okay.
Your
or not my mom, my dad and my brother. You are like my dad and my brother. Okay.
The
like,
creative mind.
Yeah. And just like La La Land. Okay. Like,
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So that was one of my points. I'm like, oh, that's kind of us, isn't it?
Anyway.
Okay. I laughed at this part where your mom is coming in to wake up your brother and you because you guys are going to a regional for LPA. And I died because we just had a family get together where we discussed this.
Yeah.
And it was brought up that, like, I think we talk, I don't want to blame your mom on this because I fully think this was the boys. Like this was you.
Yeah.
And we were talking about how your guys' rooms were disasters, like just crazy. And someone had brought up that like you guys would sleep on your mattresses without sheets.
Yeah.
And I was like, there's no way. That's disgusting.
Yeah.
I would never allow such a thing to happen.
Yeah.
And then I watched episode 2. You're full on sprawled out on just a mattress, no sheet underneath you. And
Yeah.
Bless it, my whole body just went into
both of us,
shock.
both of our beds didn't have a sheet on it.
And I love you, Zachary, so much. Your son has called you out on this podcast for this, so I don't feel guilty, but you are a drooler.
Oh, yeah.
You are a drooler. I can't even imagine what that mattress was like. What that smell was like.
Not just my mattress, but like both of our, like we had multiple.
I'm just talking about you.
Okay.
And they just show you. The one thing you said, you were like, why am I even on the bottom bunk? Zach. Ew.
Ew, brother.
we were just at a family get together. We were talking about like the old room that, like when I first started dating you.
Yeah.
Someone asked me, like, did you think that room was dirty?
Audrey asked you. Yeah.
Because
Audrey was like, I didn't want
to call her out.
No,
okay.
She's going to be like, okay. Audrey was appalled, apparently.
She's like, did you ever think their room was messy? And I thought she was joking. I'm like, There was one time I went to go pick up a mug from your counter, and it stuck to the counter. I couldn't pick it up because it stuck to it. Yeah. So gross.
Anyway.
So gross. And so... Okay, also, though, I think it's a generational thing. I watch back, I was watching back, like, she was making you guys breakfast, and she went grocery shopping with your sister, your mom, did all these things. And your house was so just cluttered.
Yeah.
And I feel like when I watched it originally, when I watched it originally, I remember kind of being like, that's how my house was.
Yeah.
I feel like it's not whatever the generation before millennials is. It's like there was tchotchkes everywhere, and there was and I feel like that's why our generation is like, don't put anything on your countertop, because my mom put a ton of stuff on our countertop, and it stressed me to my core.
I feel like people in the 90s also used their house to actually like live. Now we use our house to like social media and influence and all this other stuff. So I can't, and I'm sure there's tons of people today that still use their house to actually live and have stuff. You build counters, you put stuff on the counter. Okay. So
but I do feel like that's the difference, though. Again, I can't imagine what it was like growing up in that house, but there's a difference between messy and dirty.
Those times in our house definitely crossed the line into dirty.
Across the line.
Yeah. But also, I'm like gonna say, our room, Jeremy's my room was a disaster, but we had so much fun in that room, and that was the room where all of our friends came to hang out and like party, and so many memories. All the different versions of our room. That has been one thing about this whole experience, is remembering all the different versions of our room we had. Yeah, you know,
because it changed a lot.
Yeah, and like it was like the place to be. So like, you know, you girls are all like, but like everyone
were still there.
Everyone came to our room, so it's like,
do you remember
let's go.
I think that you tried to like scare me when we first started dating, and maybe we've talked about this on the podcast before, but do you remember when you and I used to like hang out? We'd like watch a movie upstairs or something.
Vaguely, yeah.
And your dad's office was downstairs at the bottom of the stairs. And you were like, girls aren't allowed up here.
Oh, yeah.
And all of a sudden we'd hear the crutches like coming up the stairs. And Zach would like, my dad's coming, like 6-inch rule, scoot over.
Yeah.
Were you joking? Like, were you trying to like...
I don't know. I don't remember. Probably. I was probably like a little bit of both, you know, a little bit like Matt Roloff, and then a little bit of just.
I can remember like the 3 times he ever came upstairs. You were like, Tori, put your hands away. Let's scoot over.
Yeah, probably. I was probably just like, like, you know. No, I don't know. Like, I was probably. Yeah, you know.
Okay, well, that brings me into my next topic here, because you guys went to Spokane, which I thought was kind of funny, for a regional for LPA.
Yeah.
And your brother went with you and your dad.
Yeah.
And the entire time, your dad's just trying to find you a wife. You're 15 years old, and he's trying to find you a wife.
Yeah. Okay, back to your previous point there. I think my dad, the fact that I had a girl over, okay, I don't think, maybe with Jeremy, he would have been like, no girls in the room, you know,
Your
but
dad
I feel
was
like,
probably like,
okay, like it was a huge topic of the show for, I feel like, a couple seasons of like.
That was only episode 2, and he went hard.
Yeah, so I remember there was quite a few episodes where like I was pressured pretty hard into, you know, getting a girlfriend or doing something.
At 15,
socially.
were you like into girls at all?
Sophomore year? No.
Like, did you want to have a girlfriend? Or did you ever think
No,
about
I was
it?
pretty insecure back then. I played a lot of soccer, and like my friends were all getting into dating, but I don't think I think like I like talking to people, but I didn't ask anyone out. I
Yeah.
didn't get close.
Right.
So like, I wasn't like, you know what I'm saying?
You weren't
like,
searching.
Yeah, I wasn't like,
Dad, find me. And also, would you go to your dad to be like, find me a girlfriend?
oh yeah, no, that was super weird. That whole, yeah. Anyway,
That was probably a little bit for cameras, I'm sure. Because you also asked a girl to dance, which I'm like, I don't think you've ever even asked me to dance. So I'm pretty sure
I remember not liking the LPA dances and not liking cameras at LPA. Honestly, whatever girl who did it, who was it?
Oh, I don't want to shout her out.
Or I'm just saying, like,
I don't know who she was.
I was probably pressured pretty hard into doing that.
Right.
I don't find myself doing that without cameras.
But it was kind of
with cameras. I feel like it would have been.
It was kind of a sweet moment, though. I'm not gonna lie. It was cute.
Yeah,
You like
making television.
Yeah, I know it was cute. You made it. You made it kind. Like that's what I love about you is because even though you were uncomfortable, you could tell that she was also uncomfortable. And you said something like, "I'm kind of shy at first," and she says, "Yeah, me too." And then you both just walk away together. It was kind of cute.
Who that is now?
I'll tell you after. I've never heard of her, but I'm sure that you know who she is.
Anyway, I don't know. It was hard. That part, filming, and then also, pursuing that whole thing. I wasn't into girls. I wasn't,
Well, and your brother makes a couple comments too that I'm just like, no wonder you felt like crap at one point.
What?
You heard it in the kitchen.
Oh,
He
yeah.
goes, "You look hideous."
Yeah.
Like, you poor thing.
I didn't really care about my, like...
You did.
I didn't
you
have
still
a
don't. I
lot
love
of,
you,
like,
but you still don't.
I know. Where's my hair doing right now?
Yeah, what's your hair doing right now?
I didn't have a lot of, like, image
You had a
standards.
very
Like...
You had a very warped it. Like you explained in a scene also, you were like, when I look in the mirror, I just see this short guy with big head and little arms. Like you did have a very like sour outlook on how you look.
Yeah, like I'm like, okay, I dress myself up and what's that gonna do? Like I don't think I had the personality or the physical image, you know what I'm saying? So then therefore I was like, do you know what? I'm not gonna like worry about, and clothes shopping was terrible in middle school. I hated clothes shopping. So then it was kind of like, I'm gonna wear what's comfortable. And I just didn't have a huge image. Like I wasn't really focused on how I looked or it was like the bare minimum, and it was just like, I'm just me and I'm just doing my thing. I set low standards for myself in a way. Like I don't know if that was to protect myself or if it was just like me doing me. I don't have any like huge regrets about it, but like it was also like, I don't know. That was just me. Like I was like, hey, I'm here for.
Well, sometimes I think.
I feel like that wasn't my like. Some people like go through peaks through life. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I wasn't. I think my head was a little ahead of my age a little bit. Like I was ready to move on from that period. You know what I'm saying? And so I didn't really put a lot of effort into those years. Right. Not effort, but like.
You didn't see the point in it. You were already like, I want to get married and like do the thing sometime, and that's not going to happen at 15. So like, why waste my time right now?
Yeah, and I just kind of, you dress up and you look good and you still don't get picked. That's brutal. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
come on.
I don't know if that's what I thought about, but like I think that's what like deep down maybe some of it was. So it's like, hey, it's better if I think don't try, but like then you don't get hurt either.
Do you think that having a twin who was well liked and
that's another thing. Yeah, Jeremy was well liked. Jeremy was the popular kid. All the things, all the girls liked him. So it was also like half of it was, even when you came around, multiple people talked to me even before you they talked to me, and I knew they were trying to get to Jer or Mueller or any of my friends. You know what I'm saying? And maybe they liked hanging out with me, but I was definitely friend zoned. You know what I'm saying? And it, so they liked me as a friend, but it was definitely,
I think though too, you were talking about how like you didn't put in a bunch of effort, and when I first stepped on the scene, there were lots of girls with dwarfism who would have laid down at your feet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not if I put effort in.
And I think that's part of it. I think that you did have this like silent confidence about yourself that you didn't need to like impress anyone. And sometimes I think that impresses girls. Like,
I'm sure there was something to that. Like, I'm this guy that's on TV and everything, and you know, everything that maybe comes with that. Oh, he's probably this, he's probably that. He's on TV, he's famous, he gets a lot of attention. So I had attention, money, and fame. But then I like literally looked like I didn't.
You had bright yellow Adidas.
Yeah, I didn't give
Sambas.
2 peanuts. You know what I'm saying? I'm dressing like Adam Sandler. Okay, like
yeah. But I think, but that's what I guess I'm saying is I think when I stepped on the scene, if I had met you and you took longer to do your hair than I did, I would have instantly been like, not the guy for me.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
yeah.
honestly, you came to me in this package of like,
this is me, and
let me just like help you like buy some new t-shirts and some pants, and then like you're good.
Yeah.
Instead of you coming to me, you know, with all your stuff, I would have been instantly like, Matt, not the guy for me.
I say this to you a lot. What I presented was what I am. Okay?
You haven't
like,
changed much.
Well, no, even then, like, I'm not spicing this up or anything. Like, this is, I'll give you 2 right now. So, let's go. I feel like that was attractive. You've said that. That was attractive.
100%.
Was like, this guy isn't like trying to like impress me or like
No.
lie
No,
or
you
like
weren't.
guys like what they see, girls like what they hear. And I was just like, hey, here it is.
What it is.
And then you're like, oh, I kind of like that.
But I think a lot of like women with dwarfism also looked at that and they were like, ooh, this is actually really, I like this, you know, like they looked at you. I think that you had this really warped body dysmorphia. Like,
I don't want to say anything bad, but I feel like LPA too. Sometimes there can be like a very like you put a lot of pressure on that one week, and then
we still do, and we're married.
I know,
like,
but or I guess I'm just saying like at that age you put a ton of pressure. You need to find a boyfriend, girlfriend, and do this and that in 7 days, 5 days, or whatever. And like I walked in and just I wasn't in a rush, you know, at all. So like that was a different. You have all these other guys who are like first day, like. Who am I meeting? What am I doing?
Right.
And then I was like, are we done yet? You know? And then
well,
it was this, I don't know. I'm just
speculating.
I'm speculating, but it was just kind of like, or I just wanted to talk about DAAA and everyone else wanted to talk about relationships. And I was like, so like I had this mission, like I'm going to play DAAA soccer. I'm going to win.
Right.
And that's what I'm doing this week. I'm going to accomplish this, you know? And so I had this like target and this dream. I think it might have been more some of that though, or to your point of like, I had this like direction that wasn't about getting laid and all this other stuff. It was you know, I have a mission here.
I gotta play soccer.
And after I do that, then we can see who's who. Okay. I don't know. I'm like,
okay, that's another thing that your dad said that I thought was interesting because he was convinced that you were going to find your wife at an LP conference. Like he was convinced that you were going to marry an LP.
Yeah.
Is that something that you always saw?
I don't know if he was.
Life?
I don't see. That's the hard thing about TV. Like, was he just convinced in that moment, or was he truly convinced?
True.
Or, like, who knows?
Take it with a grain of salt, though. Did you Did you think that? Like, did you think I'm gonna end up with someone with dwarfism, or did you like ever think you'd?
I probably assumed that. Yeah, I would say. I'm trying to remember what I truly thought.
Because you also said at the end of this episode, you said, "I want to get married early. I want to have kids early, and I want 3 kids, and I want all of them to be boys, and all of them to have dwarfism."
Let's go. Let's go.
So I almost delivered. I gave you 2 out of 3.
Yeah.
But
that's funny.
I'm curious if that meant you like saw yourself with someone with dwarfism versus someone of
I don't know. Like I had my moments when I had like crushes and all that stuff and talked to girls on instant messaging and everything.
Like you had a couple girls average height that you like kind of went on dates with, didn't you?
I don't know. Never a date. Went to the winter formal, but not like a date.
Didn't you hold hands with?
Like maybe. Yeah, I don't like if it was. I don't like. I don't even remember. You know, it wasn't like a.
Are you uncomfortable, babe?
No, I'm just saying. Like I don't remember. Oh, I don't know.
Oh dear. Okay. Well. Okay. Let's see. What else did I write down? Okay, another.
Don't push too hard. Then I'll point this towards you. Okay.
No, I don't want to do that. Okay, another argument that happens very frequently in our home, like all the time. What's the argument about in our kitchen? What's the argument in our kitchen?
Oh my gosh, dishes or leaving stuff on the counter.
Okay, it's dwarfism related.
Oh, stools.
Stools. How many stools do I think need to be in the kitchen?
It's ridiculous.
There were 4 DAS stools in your mom's kitchen, and I 100% was so stressed out.
This was before the kitchen got remodeled, by the way.
So it was like not a very big kitchen.
Yeah.
And there were 4 DAS stools while you guys were eating breakfast one morning, and my mind couldn't actually handle
My mom is a little person. She needs her stools to get around the kitchen.
Which I guess that makes more sense because it's her kitchen. She has dwarfism. That would make sense that there's more stools.
I'm telling you,
but that's why I'm like, this is my kitchen. 1 stool for the 3 of you.
When Lila and Jackson start wanting to use the kitchen more, there's going to be more stools. The stools are hot and coming.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's
But I love that DAS stools have like
the handle.
But I love that they have withstood the test of time. Like they're still the best stools.
Oh yeah,
like hands down.
I actually asked my dad like a couple months ago if he's still making them. And he hasn't.
He needs to because
I think COVID. He lost the supplier or whatever. Manufacturer.
We've given a DAS stool to every single one of our friends who has a child with dwarfism, and every single one of them is like, "This is life changing."
No, 100%. I think back then my dad used it as a business to sell to hotels. But if he ever brought that back, I would say like we should just like get them made, and sell at cost. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like they are like people still message me like, "Do you have one?" You know, and it's like no, we're like they're gone, they're done. Yeah. But and they're strong, they're sturdy, they're not plastic, they have the handle, they look good.
Also, when you run into them in bare feet, they actually murder your toes, which is why there's going to be 1 in my kitchen. But they are the best. They're the best.
They are.
Okay, I think I'm wrapping up here. Content I didn't know that I needed.
Got it.
The most wholesome content happened on episode 2 was your brother dancing with a girl who had dwarfism.
Got it.
On his knees.
Oh, yeah.
So cute. Like, it was just wholesome. I just didn't know I needed that content in my life. It was just so sweet. Yeah. While you were dancing with your girl that you picked out there.
Jeremy, he used to do that a lot.
But I've never seen that today. Like, I don't see that when I go to conferences.
Yeah, I think the whole average height sibling thing has gotten a little controversial.
That's true.
So there's less of them on the dance floor. And just, I think on your knees, now people, are you offended? Are you not offended? Back then, you just did it, But
at 15, he knew how to, like, twirl a girl. I was like, beg your pardon. Who taught you that? He twirled this girl. I'm like, that looked real smooth. Like, what?
That's what I was going up against. Okay, that's what I was like.
Bad for you that's what you're going.
That's what I'm saying. Like, there's.
Aren't you so glad you ended up with me though?
I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Okay.
I came along. I pissed a lot of girls off.
Yeah.
But like, aren't you so glad?
No,
I'll never ask you to dance.
Tori,
in fact,
I think about that all the time. Everything that you come with. I'm like, I will pick that over anything else for sure. So
thanks, baby.
Yeah, no, I'm glad I waited. I'm glad, all the things.
You didn't only look at LPs. Imagine if you wrote me off because I was 5'9".
No, that's not a thing. No one does that. No one.
I love the joke in our family because my mom is like, how tall is my mom? She's probably like 5'2".
Yeah, 5'2", 5'3", yeah.
Like she's short. A bunch of shorties on that side of the family.
Your dad's
and my dad's 6'4", maybe.
Yeah, 6'4".
He's tall. Yeah. So it was like a running joke that my mom finally like found some inseam in the family.
Yikes.
I married you.
Yeah. Yikes.
Whoop a daisy.
Yeah. No, that's
that was
tough.
Fun.
I'm gonna have a tough time with this series.
You're loving it, don't you?
I don't know. I don't want to be negative Nancy about it. Like, there was definitely good times about the show.
I don't think there was anything negative that we just talked about.
I think it's tough to rewatch yourself at 15. Like,
that's why your wife.
Imagine if you did it. Imagine if rewatching.
Thank God, I don't have to do it.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh
like, you're over here snickering, like. Okay, like
you do that laugh so much.
But I'm saying, like, you're like over here snickering about me. Like, go watch yourself.
Oh, stop! It's all in good fun. You were so much more like you're. outlook and perception on life when you were 15 years old probably is still more mature than my current outlook on life. Okay. Like, we're so much more together than I will ever be in my life. But, okay.
That might be true.
Oh my gosh. Well, that was fun. We're doing episode 3 next week because this is fantastic.
What's episode 3 about?
I don't know. That's my homework.
Yeah.
That's your homework. We got to watch it together. Come back next week and we're going to do episode 3 together.
How many episodes are we doing?
I said 5. Roll off. Okay. Can you hold it
Can
together?
we pluck
for 5?
out a few episodes too? Like, we should do our wedding episode.
That would be fun. Oh, like the birthing episodes. That's the ones I kind of want to do. It's like when our babies came into the world. Except those ones are hard for me to watch because I turn into a cow. I turn into a blue whale on those episodes. That was fun to watch. Anyway, come back next week. We're doing episode 3. Thank you guys if you're still here with us. Thank you for riding this out.
Yeah.
If you have not checked out merch, we're not repping our merch today.
I thought I grabbed it.
I'm renting Portland gear today.
I know. I thought I grabbed the black sweatshirt, but
I know. Well, if you guys have not checked out our merch yet, make sure you go check it out. It's in the YouTube description and it's in both of the bios of Instagram and all the things. So go check them out. Make sure you like and subscribe everywhere you listen to podcasts. Follow us on YouTube and Instagram. Watch episode 3 and come back next week.
do your best.
Forget the rest.